Hello and welcome to the show, and welcome to another 2x2 Napoleonics. This is the Battle of Haslach-Jungingen, 11th of October 1805. As a prelude to the Battle of Ulm, the Austrians are attempting to break out of the area and strike northeast of the city. A much larger Austrian force encounters a French division around the villages of Haslach and Jungingen. Both commanders are surprised by each other. Dupont, the French general, attempts to bluff the Austrians over the size of his force as he sends for reinforcements. Each game turn will be 30 minutes. It is 2 p.m. when the two forces meet, and last light is 6:30 p.m. To win, the French have to hold out until it's dark. The Austrian infantry will be classed as militia. During this battle, the Austrian cavalry are very ill-disciplined, so in this game they must roll 1d6 after a victorious combat. If they roll a 1 to 4, they loot the dead and are disrupted. The villages of Haslach and Jungingen are towards the top edge of the table, and these will be defended by the French. The city of Ulm is to the south and off the bottom of the table as you look. The river Danube is to the east and right-hand side of the table. The French division under General Dupont is split into two, each defending one of the villages. The westernmost grouping has an ad hoc battalion of grenadiers in the village and two other battalions just to the north. The eastern grouping around Haslach has two batteries of guns and a battalion to the front of the village and some light cavalry to the rear. The Austrians under General Mack have four divisions. The one on the west is predominantly cavalry, the other three being infantry. The two divisions to the south of Haslach can only start moving after 4 p.m. It is cold and had been snowing, hence the use of my winter cloth for this battle. Today's video of a Dalliance in small scale Napoleonics is lubricated with a bit of white wine, a Chardonnay Cheapo Plonk from our local supermarket. Cheers. On the southern side of the battlefield, north of Ulm, are arrayed the Austrian forces. There's General Mack, the unfortunate General Mack. He's got a cavalry division to his front left and an infantry division to his front right, and they're going to go straight for Jungingen. There's Dupont with a poultry of battalions to defend that little village. Over on the eastern side of the battlefield, two divisions for the Austrians, but these won't be able to get going until 4 o'clock, and they'll be going straight up that road to attack the French defending Haslach. They've got some artillery there with a regiment in front of the village and some cavalry to the east and west as we look. So it's a tall order for the French to defend this position. So these French grenadiers are actually in this village, so I've just placed them there, and the Austrians will advance. We're going to move up here and wait for the guns to do some damage on this battalion. And General Mack will move in the back. So the French grenadiers here are going to fire at this assaulting battalion. First volley +1. 3. There's a miss. No melees to resolve. The French will move. They will come over here. They will come here, and Dupont will move up, I think into the village actually, with the grenadiers. The Austrian battery will open fire on the grenadiers here. It's first volley. That's 5. They are pinned. Right, the Austrians move. So they will charge into them. They will charge into them. Brigade commander will go with them. And the rest will just move up. They can't do anything. There's no column attack for the Austrians. Over on the left flank, the light cavalry are going to come over here. And the heavy cavalry push forward. Then I'm going to wait for them to be disrupted and then swoop in. So as previously, I'm going to allow the defenders to fire as the Austrians come in. Straight dice roll for the grenadiers in the village. 1, that's useless. And for the others here, first fire bonus, so that's 6. And that's target disrupted, so they don't get there. And just south of Haslach, I'm going to allow the French gunners to open fire on the Austrians to their south. 2 batteries here will open fire. They are long range, so first fire is negated. They'll both be firing at this battery. 4, no effect. And the other gun 6. that means the battery is disrupted. Right, melee action in the village of Jungingen. Both divisional commanders are involved. +2 for the French and +1 for the Austrians. 3-2. 1 by 1. Loser routes. So the Austrians will rout. Are they destroyed? No. They'll move directly away and are disrupted. So they're now back here. These can't move. Need to rally before they can move. Okay. So 5+ for these. No. And these ones here. Yes. So the Austrian battery here will open fire again on the French to the left of the village. 5. Pinned again. And this battery will open fire on one of the French batteries. No effect. No melees to resolve. End of turn. So 3 PM and everything to play for, but the Austrians need to get a move on. I think these dragoons are going to get into these infantry. I did say they're going to wait for disruption, but they haven't got the time. So they're in with brigade commander. They need to rally, so they can't move. They will move into the village again with a brigade commander, divisional commander rather. And that is it. The other divisions on the eastern side can't move yet. Okay, rallying units. So these need to rally. They're -1, but old Mac will be there. So they'll be +1. Reserve 5, and that's them sorted. And these chaps here will need a 6, which they don't get, so they remain disrupted. Right, those grenadiers in the village will fire at the Austrians as they charge in. Straight roll. No. Okay, so they make contact. And again, these infantry will fire at the dragoons on the way in. First fire for them. And target is cavalry, so that is going to be +3, which is 6. So they were disrupted on the way in and don't make it. But the other cavalry do. Right, 2 melees then. These dragoons against these infantry here. +2 for the Austrians, 0 for the French. 6, 5, +1 to the Austrians. Those are outs. What's happened to them? Oh, they're destroyed. Gone. Now, as per the rules before the start of the game, they need to roll 1 dice 6, 1 to 4. They loot, so they don't follow up. They stay there and are disrupted. Apparently the Austrian cavalry are particularly poor during this battle. And the other melee in the town here, it's +3 for the French because Dupont is there, and +1 for the Austrians. That is a defeat of the French by 1. So they're going to be pushed out of the village, loser routes. They go, well, let's check, see what happens to them first. They're okay, they do rout. And the Austrians will follow up into the village. And they've secured Jungingen. Right, French move. They can't move because they're pinned. Same. What I might do is send one of these dragoons over to the west. Unpin these 2 units. First ones will need 4, they get 5. And these chaps here will need 5, they don't, so they stay there. Austrian shooting, these will fire at them. 6 is target disrupted. And over on the eastern side of the battlefield, I forgot to fire the batteries here, which I'll do now. Fire them together, both -1. 5 is pinned, well they're already disrupted. So that's no effect effectively. These will fire back. The Austrian turn, and that's a miss. So an effective bombardment by all batteries there. There are no melees to resolve, that is it. So the Austrians are doing well on their left flank. They've secured the village. Their dragoons are in a bit of disarray here. But certainly the French are heavily outnumbered, and that's the grenadiers pushed back there. And one of the line battalions has already gone. Right, movement. Well, these can't move because they are disrupted. I've got to roll for them in a moment. This battalion will move up here. Again, they're disrupted, so they'll have to move around to the flank there. And Mac will move over to give support to them. These light cavalry will come over here, ready to pounce on those grenadiers. Meanwhile, these 2 divisions on the Austrian right can't advance till 4 o'clock, so they're fanning about. Right, Austrian rally. These chaps will need a 6. Don't get it. These chaps will need a 5 because the divisional commander's there. They don't get it. And Mac here with them, they need a 5 or 4, but they only get a 1, so they don't rally either. In fact, they're militia, so they're not going to rally unless they roll a 6. French battery will fire. This lot will fire at these infantry here. That is disrupted. And these will fire at these. Oh, another disruption. That's going to really slow them down. And over here, this unit will be firing at them. Don't think they can do any more damage than they've already done, actually. Well, certainly not with that. No melees to resolve. French will move. Well, I think this lot, what are they going to do? I think they, tell you what, they're going to charge back in. Why not? Fierce hand-to-hand fighting in Jungingen as the French grenadiers try to push the Austrians out again. Both on +2. And unfortunately for the French, that's -2, lose by 2. They rout again. Check to see if they're destroyed. Oh dear, grenadiers have gone. And also need to see if Dupont's caught it up. He didn't, so he was able to escape, so that's all right. But that's a disaster for the French. Right, French move. Dupont will come in here to help this lot rally. And it's a bit desperate at the moment. I think these dragoons are going to charge into those light cavalry there. These 2 units will be firing at them. They get a +1 because the target is already disrupted. Roll them together, no effect. Did need to just rally them, actually. Forgot that. They did rally, so that was no effect on them anyway. Over to the cavalry melee now. It's the dragoons against the chasseurs. +2 for the French, -1 for the Austrians. So that is going to be 6-1. Loser destroyed. And they will follow up immediately against the other cavalry there. It's -1 to the French. So that's going to be 3-4, +1 to the Austrians. The losers will rout. But are they destroyed? 1 and 2 they are. No. Okay, fortunate. In fact, I've got to roll to see if they start looting the dead that were left there. They don't, but they won't follow up. Well, I'll make it 4 PM at the moment, and the Austrians are doing reasonably well. It's their move. So these militia move up here. And this division here, they're standing around, so they're going to come around here. They can't move. These Austrian dragoons move. Come up here with the divisional commander. Now we need to do some rallying. They need a 6. Don't get it. They need a 6. Don't get it. These pin chaps need... Oh dear, look, Max there. The unfortunate Max done bugger all. And they did a 6 as well, and they don't get it. 6. Oh yes, well done. 5. Yes. That doesn't really matter with the guns, I don't think. 5. Wrong. 6. No. Oh, shame. These need a 5. No. So the French guns will continue to pound the Austrians as they advance. That battalion on the right, as we look, the very close one, is out of arc. So they will fire at them. Dear. Disrupted. And they will fire at them. No effect. Now this French battalion will fire at the ones in the village. 5. And that's no effect because they're in the village. No melees to resolve. French movement. Wow, interestingly. Right, these dragoons are going to come in here. And they're going to swing around on their flank. This line is going to assault the village again. And over here we're going to get the light cavalry coming up on the flank here. And this infantry advancing here. Austrians firing into the French as they advance into the village. 2, no effect. And the artillery here firing at the guns. No effect. And these chaps here will be firing at the French as they try to advance in. 6. First fire. Wow, that is target routes. So they go. Are they destroyed? No. But they're disrupted. Right, let's do this melee again for the village of Jungingen. +2 for the Austrians because they're built up area, and the commander, oh my lord, that is a smash for the Austrians. The French have gone. and they've got to follow up. Dupont wasn't there, but he should have been. Need to check whether he's killed. No. So Dupont will scoot away to the Dragoons. So they should have been in with the line there, but he obviously wasn't. I would say that village is firmly secured for the Austrians. However, we have an attack here. Dragoons against Dragoons. 4-3 to the French, which is 6-4. Beaten by 2. Loser routes. Are they destroyed? No. Optional follow-up. They will not. End of turn. Well, it's 4:30 in the afternoon. The shadows are lengthening. The Austrians doing reasonably well on their left flank, but the Dragoons have smashed a bit of their cavalry and they're making heavy weather of it. And meanwhile, on their right flank, they're not doing particularly well. They're kind of stalling here as well. So time is of the essence. Right, Austrian move. They will charge into the artillery. That's going to go one way. They can't move. They're pinned. This division is going to continue to move around to the left flank of the other one. They're pinned and they're pinned. Need to, or disrupted rather, need to sort them out. And over here, I can't do anything until I unpin this lot and undisrupt. So these looting Dragoons need a 6. They don't get it. They need a 5. They do. These need a 5. No. 5 for them, yes. And 6 for the others, no. Over on the right flank, 6 for these, no. 5, yes. And 6 for these, no. Pretty poor. So the French artillery will canister fire at the Austrians as they charge into the positions, and the left-hand battery will fire at the advancing Austrians further over in the background. +1 for the guns, no effect. And these other guns will fire at them. 5 pinned, well they're already pinned because of firing. Right, melee. So these Austrian militia have caught the battery on the hop. 0 - 3. So that's 3-1 to the Austrians. Loser routes. So the guns try and scramble away. What's happened to them? Well, they are in fact destroyed. No great surprise there. Optional follow-up. I think they will, because there's nobody there. They are behind the French lines. Alright, desperate times for the French here. The Dragoons, though, are going to smash into those other Dragoons who are disrupted. Interesting. And these Dragoons are going to swing around into those Austrians on the flank there. Rallying for the French. They need to rally. They do not. I think actually these will smash into them. Got that as well. Right, defensive fire. So they can fire at the cavalry as they come in. 5 pinned, so they didn't get there. They didn't fancy it. Guns here will fire at the French battery. No effect. They can fire at them, but it's out the flank. So it's 0 for no effect. Right, melees. Desperate cavalry attacks from the French on their right. So the Dragoons against the disrupted Austrian Dragoons who are busy looting. 4-2 to the French, which is 9-6 +3. Loser destroyed. They're gone. Optional follow-up. They will not. I think that's a good choice. Now here, Dragoons against the Austrians here. 3-1 to the French, which is 8-5 +3. Ooh, now they're smashed as well. Is the divisional commander killed? He's gone. Optional follow-up, they will. They're going to come here. So that is 2-0 for the French, which is +2. Loser routes. Are they killed? Oh, crikey, they are. The Austrians got mullered again. And that is an optional follow-up. They will not follow up. That is the end of turn. Well, I'll tell you what, the French are doing great guns, especially on their right flank, the Austrian left. I mean, look, these Dragoons have absolutely smashed what's left of the Austrian division of cavalry and the militia division. I mean, old Mac, he's on his own here. He's going to get hammered in a minute by those Dragoons. And over on the Austrian right, I mean, they're messing around here. They have pushed a battalion forward to the outskirts of Haslach here, but it's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination. Right, it is 5 o'clock and time is ticking, so these dragoons with division commander will smash into there. They can't move. They'll be firing at them in a minute. This division will continue to advance. They can't do anything at the moment. Well, they could advance. The rest of it is pretty rubbish. Right, let's do some rallying. They need a 6. They don't get it. Well, they do get it, but they'll still be firing in a moment. And these here will also need a 6, or 5 rather. They don't get it. They need a 4. They get it, so that's good news, because they'll be turning their fire on those dragoons in a minute. And let's do those artillery. No. Right, French firing. French will be doing not a lot with firing. This battery here will be firing at them. In effect, melees. Big dragoon face-off. Honour is at stake. 3-2 to the Austrians. So that's a 6 and that's a 7. Lose by 1. They were out. That's not good. Are they destroyed? No. It's an optional follow-up by the French, but they won't do it. They just need to be a little bit careful. Right, these dragoons will smash into them. They will stay there. They can't move, they need to be rallied, and they need to be rallied. Let's do that now. They'll need a 6, they don't get it. They'll need a 5, they do get it. Guns, no, not yet. In fact, they've already fired. Austrian firing, they will fire as the dragoons charge in. 6. And that is destroyed. The target was cavalry, it's +2. Is Dupont killed? Oh dear, General Dupont's gone down. And I'm afraid that is it. The French are going to run away. There's not many troops left now. With Dupont going down, all they've got on their right flank, the Austrian left, is that dragoon regiment there. Jungingen is effectively secured by the Austrians, although it is fanning around. Old Mac is there with a regiment of militia. And further over to the east, the Austrian right flank, they are advancing inexorably towards Haslach, and there ain't a lot of defence from the French there. There's one disrupted regiment here in front of the village, and there's one group of hussars there, and I'm afraid that is it. They've done valiantly, but ultimately there were too many Austrians on the hoof there, and they have been swept away an hour and a half before last light. No reinforcements. Victory for the Austrians.